What is happening, fellow conspirator? It is, of course, none other than your boy, Matty Milligan, and this is episode number 21 of the Underground Marketing Conspiracy. Ooh. Today, we are talking about how everyone sucks at social media. And I mean absolutely everybody. Even Kim Kardashian, absolutely terrible at social media. Her sisters, whatever their names are, Kylie and the other ones, they all suck at social media. Trump sucks at social media, as you probably have already surmised. Now, my foray into social media, I believe, started with MySpace originally, probably in the mid 2000s. I had that for a while, and then once Facebook came along, I signed up for that. And then I think it was either 2011 or 2012, I disabled all of my social media and just went off the grid because I'm like, man, this stuff sucks. Like, I hate being on it. And then at some point, I heard someone where they're like, all right, like, there's three kinds of people who use social media. There's people that consume it, and then there are people that just don't deal with it whatsoever, and then there are people that use it to build their personal brands and build a business, same way Kim Kardashian has and Kylie Jenner have, and they're very successful at that. So this is when I realized, once I heard that, I was like, okay, let me reactivate my Facebook account first of all, and then start figuring out this social media stuff because it's very powerful and we are in the early stages. It is the wild, wild west of social media right now, the time that you're in, as well as technology. You live in a time when there is so much opportunity out there. It is ridiculous, and all you have to do is be patient and start creating content consistently on social media. And I will go into all the other platforms, how each of them work very briefly, especially for newbie people or people just so that maybe you're posting content and you just want, I guess, a check to make sure that you're following the right steps with actually posting your social media. And there's a couple of things I'll cover as well that I'm super concerned about in terms of businesses and just people in general getting scammed and spammed. But main point I really want to make today is that we are in the early stages of social media, and we're about to turn the leaf on a new decade into 2020 to 2029, which I believe will probably be called the 20s again or something. I don't know, the 2020s probably. So let's go back to each of the platforms, I guess. So let's start with the shortest ones in terms of posting, which would just be Twitter. I believe originally it was 140 characters, I think, that you could post, and now it's 256 characters. And Twitter's good for quick comments. With Twitter, you do need to post a lot per day. And this is where I recommend using some sort of social media scheduling platform like Buffer or Hootsuite or Social Sprout, where they can just automatically post to that platform for you. I'm not sure if the reach will be as high because you're using automation and API, but that's a whole other story. Twitter is for shorter posts, right? This is how Trump won the election. He basically just tweeted and trolled his way into the office, which again, the next election is about to happen next year. And guess what he's doing right now? He's doing the exact same thing. He is just a master manipulator with his social media posts. And people don't realize that he probably has multiple social media managers writing out all these juicy gossip tweets that he delivers virtually every single day. So, next platform, I guess, would be Facebook. I guess it's kind of like the OG at this point of social media platforms, even though, again, it's only been around since, like 2003 or 2004, I believe. So it's still, again, this is why we're in the early stages. It hasn't even been 20 years since Facebook has been around, and it's this global powerhouse right now. Facebook is kind of a unique platform because you can post longer stuff written, you can post longer videos, you can post images. So Facebook is kind of a free-for-all, to be honest. And it's basically a hybrid of multiple platforms, which is why I believe it's so effective, because Zuckerberg, who owns it, is super, super smart, and he takes the best components of all these other social media platforms and just builds them into Facebook. And it's weird how they actually have Instagram, they own it, and they also own WhatsApp, and those are two different platforms. But I guess with Instagram, it's shorter post as well. Originally, it was just quick images, and then it became shorter videos, and now it's become longer stuff with Instagram Watch. So that's really what Instagram is. And again, there's the stories where you want to share behind the scene, essentially the same as what Snapchat used to be, where you're sharing behind the scenes of what's going on. And next one, I guess that's just a quick overview of those ones. And then next one would be YouTube. YouTube is great for longer content. If you post a really good tutorial video or maybe a very entertaining video, those are likely to have longer lifespans than if you posted something on Facebook where it might live for a little while, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be viral. But in some cases with YouTube videos, in most cases, honestly, those videos gain more traction as they grow over time, right? And then you've probably seen these videos where they become classic videos and people make memes out of them and GIFs out of them as well. So that's essentially an overview of YouTube. For someone like me, I honestly prefer YouTube. I think I have probably, dare I say, a longer attention span than the average person at this point, and maybe even the average millennial. So I'll go on there and watch longer videos. Like I've watched some videos that were 3 or 4 hours long in some cases, these self-help and personal development videos that I'll watch. And they're super, and I'm there listening, taking notes, maybe even writing a little bit, but basically just taking the best concepts from those ideas and then understanding how that really fits into my world. So that's what YouTube is. And then there's the newer platforms. Like I'll talk briefly, I guess, about TikTok. It's this like lip syncing app that it's big with the kids the last few years. Originally it was Musical.ly when I first heard about it in 2016, and I've seen it gradually build. The fact that they've rebranded and now they run advertising on TikTok only shows me the power of this platform. So that would be another up-and-coming platform. Then there's also Twitch, which is a gaming platform where you basically stream yourself playing video games, but people use it for other things like group chat as well. So that's also an awesome kind of up-and-coming platform. Then, of course, there's all the podcasting stuff, which is what I do on all the different platforms, and those are all basically the same. It's basically the equivalent of radio, right? If you think of old media versus new media, there was originally radio, and that's turned into podcasting now. There was originally TV, now that's turned into YouTube and a lot of Facebook and Instagram videos. There were newspapers and magazines, now those have turned into blog posts online. There were, I guess Twitter is kind of its own unique thing, but I guess there were messenger pigeons, passenger pigeons, that you would send each other quick little notes to, right? And basically that's what everything has become, right? All that old media and old communication mediums, those have turned into those new forms of media and mediums, which you now see. So that's a basic overview of social media. The thing is, with each of these platforms, we're in such a point where it's so new. So anyone, if they're talented enough, can just go out there and start posting on one of these mediums on a very consistent basis to grow their following and their own personal brand, which eventually will lead into some sort of business opportunity, whether that's selling your own products or selling other people's products. Let me just take a quick sip of coffee and regather my thoughts. So if you think about this, based on the fact that we're in the early stages, anyone out there, even if you're a 95-year-old grandma in a wheelchair and you have no limbs, but you can post and you can basically push record on your phone and talk, there's a huge opportunity out there. Keep in mind, you do need to have talent in some specific area that other people are interested in already. You can't just make random stupid videos like I've done in the past, which basically got me nowhere, but they taught me lots of lessons about what not to post. But there's other things that you could also do. If you're a good-looking person, then it's not that hard. You just need to basically, I guess, if you're a guy, like look fairly clean, or heck, maybe even you want to be rugged because that's part of your brand and that's what attracts people. And then if you're a woman, obviously, like have good makeup and good hair and good clothing. It's pretty straightforward. That stuff will always sell. Good-looking people will always grow followings, and they're very likable because, again, they stand out in the crowd, right? They look different, they're good looking. So that's another thing that you could also have. But I would really focus on the talent because I believe every human being has a very specific and unique talent that only they have. And they might not necessarily be the best in the world at that talent, but even being third or fourth or fifth in some cases will allow you to gain popularity. All right? And again, the reason why I personally got into social media was because I saw it as an opportunity to build a business, to escape, I guess, the rat race, the 9 to 5 life, just a lot of social conditioning stuff that I've never really agreed with, a lot of mainstream ideas that I roll my eyes at a lot. I just had to figure out a few years back, I hit a point where I realized I needed to get out of that life, where just a lot of the corporate greed and stuff had got to me, and I was just like, I need to figure out a way how to do this. So, and again, I started reading more and more books, and that's when I found out about the power of social media and how to actually utilize it so that I personally could escape the 9 to 5, because I do not fit in that situation whatsoever. I've tried to death. The school system, I believe, failed me. And again, this is why it's called the underground marketing conspiracy, because I'm going to share some different opinions that definitely clash with a lot of the ideas that exist out there right now. But again, even if you start today with social media, it needs to be something you post consistently on. One post on social media is like a drop in the ocean. It is going to do nothing. You need to choose a medium and do it consistently over a very, very long period of time. The benefit of that is that you'll improve, as I've talked about before, your public speaking. You will find your voice. You will find and be able to tell stories from your past that you completely forgot about. And you'll be able to really just start to amuse yourself, right? And stop relying on a lot of external stimulation. Because you're going to be the creator and you're going to be bringing value to other people, as opposed to all the other people who are consuming your value. And a lot of people, again, when you bring them a lot of value, if it is something that really solved their problem, they're very likely to reciprocate and follow you. And then again, maybe purchase something from you down the line. But again, a lot of people, they might just want to use social media to, maybe you have a nonprofit, right? And you want to figure out how you can use it to post. I see a lot of mistake from businesses where they just keep posting stuff where it's like, hey, like, give us money. And I just see that consistently. I've gone through a couple of things recently where I'm just like, all right, like there's no value here, right? There's no like you trying to care and help and build trust and build a bond and rapport with that other person who's actually watching your video. You're just like, hey man, like we got this thing, like you want it? Give me some money for it. And it's like, yeah, no. And this is why I have this podcast, right? Because I've acquired clients now through this podcast. Even though I'm so early on into it, I've had a lot of people reach out to me. Having some sort of social media channel, having your own show, when other people see that, it makes you an authority. And there's really I don't know how it really makes sense, but the fact that you're willing to, I guess, put yourself out there and to really just express yourself, that is going to really inspire a lot of people. And they're going to see that and they're going to be like, yeah, like that person out there is a leader and I want to follow that and I want to be like that, right? And when you can inspire other people and really motivate them and help them change, that is a huge factor that differentiates you from all the other gurus out there. So if you really want to build like a massive brand, again, like start thinking about topics. I go through this with every person. I'm like, dude, all right, this is how you create content. In your niche, there's probably a lot of problems that people have. Like, make a list of the top 10 biggest problems, myths, mistakes, sins that you're seeing out there in your specific market. Make a list of those things. Then go out and do some research with those things. This is basically like, this is the goal right here. This is what so many people don't do. They just create stuff. Go out there in those things for those 10 topics and do a little bit more research. Use Quora.com to look at questions people are asking. Look at Yahoo Answers. Look at Reddit Ask Me Anything, Reddit AMA. There's tons of questions people are asking. Go to YouTube videos on those problems and look at what people are asking in terms of what sort of stuff that they want. And this is going to give you unlimited content ideas. And what I mean by that is once you actually start creating the content, people out there, as they start to follow you, are going to start asking you questions. They're going to ask you and tell you exactly what content to create. And all you need to do is keep your ears open, listen to what they want, and then actually go out there and create the content that your market wants. It's such a simple thing when you hear this, but it is so important. And so many marketers and so many businesses out there and so many people ignore this one thing. And look, if you're a hot girl, none of that applies to you. I'll be blunt. You just need to post pictures of yourself looking cute, and people are gonna follow you. Some of the stuff my female friends show me on their social media that other people send them is shocking. Moving on. If you're serious though about building a business, you need to master social media. I don't claim at this point that I'm a master. All right, I read up on social media every single day to find out the latest news because technology changes day to day, right? So you need to be figuring out how it works and figuring out when it's changing and really ride the waves, right? There might be some points where you'll be huge on one medium and then suddenly that medium dies down. Well, as you kind of see, I guess that I don't remember what it's called, the U curve. When you're kind of hitting that top, it's like a roller coaster. There's that climb up and then there's that huge drop, right? And that happens with a lot of these platforms. It's what happened with MySpace. There was a big build up and then suddenly they died. So, and MySpace is probably around. I bet Tom is still around somewhere. Tom, holler at me if you are watching this episode. So, again, when you hit that point when you can see it's about to go down, that's when you move those people and tell your audience to go follow you on other platforms, right? Use each platform to build your following. One of the things I believe I learned, it was this talk by Russell Brunson on conversation domination, where the way he does it is he has his Instagram account, and if you have more than 10,000 followers, you can basically just get people to swipe up. So he'll just create these behind the scenes videos of what he's doing, and they'll be like, hey, if you want to see the final thing, like swipe up right now. And he'll do that over and over and over again. And that allows him to plug all of his stuff. And in his Instagram stories, he's usually sharing behind the scenes stuff. And then in his post, it's like quick videos, but for the most part, it's like motivational quotes and just business quotes in general. So, and I think like those quotes things have just been killed. I personally used to have this one Instagram account, by the way, that I built to a lot of followers, and then it still exists and I still own it. It was a motivational post thing. And then one day some dude replied where he's just like hashtag repetitive, and I'm like, it's true. And and I looked at all the other accounts doing the same thing, and there were so many of them, and it's like it's kind of tiring at this point. Like motivational quotes, they're good if they're your own original ideas, but in general, it's something that I would move away. I think hashtags as well will eventually die in the next 10 years as well. Like they've been done to death. See, I drink my own Kool-Aid. I've made a list of the top 10 marketing mistakes that I'm going to tell people about from 2020 to 2029, where I'm like, if you do this, like, you're dumb. And those two were two of them for sure. Like the hashtags is one thing where it's like hashtag everything and people are sick of it. I think even Instagram, when you post your hashtag, they actually shadow ban you now when they notice that you're usually basically spamming people with a lot of stuff. But and yeah, another big thing is like Facebook groups are going to be huge as well. So start figuring out how to network and use your personal profile to do that. Facebook has shut down a few people from what I've seen for using it as a networking tool, but they must have been doing something wrong, right? They probably weren't asking people's permission, first of all. They were probably spamming them with messages on a regular basis, and Facebook is like, all right, stop spamming people, stop. You need to get their permission first. Because there's this thing where a lot of people, they'll post it, it'll be like, hey, like do this. If you want this, put in this specific word, like type yes below, and people are like, yes, 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 yes. When you go into groups and spam like that, you're gonna upset the admin and the moderator of that group. So go into those groups and post value, like pure value, based on the stuff that I talked about before with the problems and mistakes, etc. Go into those groups, bring lots of value, and then on your personal profile, you just happen to have one of those things where it's like, hey, and if you want more, I'm thinking about creating this awesome book about how to post social media and the top 10 social media mistakes. Do you want it? If so, type yes below, or type some unique thing. Like I don't like to type yes. Like I usually like to have some goofy term like, I don't know, purple muffins or something weird. And so yeah, like if you want my awesome social media tips, type purple muffins below. So that again engages people. Facebook sees, they're like, whoa, lots of people are engaging with this. But then again, I do that because that way I go into groups, I network. When I answer someone's question, I'm doing it for not just that person, but all the people watching, which I believe I've talked about before. They go back to my profile, they see the stuff that I've been posting, they see that one thing, and then they're going to type like, oh yes, like purple muffin. And then again, I'm going to be like, hey man, like thanks for, like let me send you a friend request. Hey man, like it looks like you want this. You still want it? Cool, man. Awesome. And then again, I'm getting their permission. It's like, hey, here you go. And they're like, hey, by the way, like how's business going? And then again, that's what gets me into that conversation with them. There's also other valuable posts like my podcast on my personal profile. And again, it's all about optimizing the different profiles. So I think I covered enough for today. We went 20 minutes deep into this, which is, I think, enough that you really need to know at this point. But just understand that everyone else out there, have the opinion that everyone else out there sucks at social media, and now is your chance to actually shine for the next 10 years of your life. And I want to talk about the next 10 years of your life really briefly because many people misunderestimate what they can do in 1 year and overestimate what they can do in 10 years. I think I messed up that quote right there, but we'll leave it in this video anyways. Hope you have yourself an awesome day, and I will see you next time on another episode of the Underground Marketing Conspiracy. Woo!